there, listeners. Welcome back to the Cram and East Secondary podcast. Nice. We have the usual me, Mr. L. We also have
me, Mr. Y.
And we have a very shy, very embarrassed for the first time ever. I don't know why.
Very unnatural.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Miss Reyes.
And Miss Reyes. So, just as per usual, we'd like to talk to our guests about what they teach and which year levels. Now, what's the youngest year level you're teaching this year?
Year 8.
Year 8. Ooh, so the year 7s won't know who you are. Mm-hmm. But year 8, so what do you teach and what are other subjects you teach around the school in general?
I teach English and this year I taught year 8 and year 12.
Oh, wow. Very wide age gap. So that means, I guess now, if you're watching this now, listeners, year 12 exams kind of should be over by the time this episode comes out, which means I guess you might have more of a chance to see Miss Reyes. She might take your class randomly at some times. I know I might because my year 11s are finished, but not so much for you, huh, Mr. Y?
Everyone's here.
Yep, the same old. Cool. So, with Miss Reyes...
My hands are sweating.
Oh, you'll be fine. Everyone knows you like to talk. It's all good. So we've known each other for a long time, haven't we? Like back in the year 8 office many years ago where the current year 12s, when they were year 8. Yeah, so that's been quite a while now, 4 years or so. And that was when we were in the green building, but now we're all moved over to the yellow, except for Mr. Y, who's still stuck in orange. But one day,
what do you mean stuck?
Well,
I'm thriving in orange.
Well, I guess what some of the listeners might not know is that in terms of staff bathrooms, right?
They have the most toilets.
Yeah. Orange is so lucky because in yellow, all of us teachers share one cubicle, pretty much.
Men and women.
Yeah, but green, they eventually increased it, didn't they? Last year or the year before, because you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, they changed one of the student toilets to a staff toilet. That was nice.
So you don't... Well, I mean, you still had to bump your students walking in though, didn't you?
Yes, we had to yell at them to get out. To get out of the staff toilet.
Exactly. Awesome. So, one of the key things I did want to talk to you both a bit about today is something that I used to get into quite a bit. I know Mr. Y still gets into it very often, and based on some of your stories, Miss Reyes, I've seen you sometimes interacting with the gym and classes, right? Now, this is the thing though, I think we all do extremely different things at the gym though, right? Because what's the key things that you do there, Mr. Y? Like, how long do you spend there normally?
Oh God.
Do you sign up for any particular classes or anything? And like, what's the general things that you do? And then we'll go around.
Okay. Don't judge me. I spend 2 hours at the gym just because I have a lot of friends at the gym. So I end up like just kind of like work out, have a little bit of chat, and then like try not to chat for too long before I start like the next exercise. And then so yeah, that usually takes me 2 hours. Or if I'm doing a class, which either tends to be boxing or used to be Olympic weightlifting.
Oh.
It'd be like a 1 hour type of thing.
Wow.
What's Olympic weightlifting?
So where you're doing like the snatch, the clean and jerk.
I have no idea what
you're
you're
using
saying.
terminology.
Oh, sorry.
How about?
So like, think about it as you are picking up weight and throwing it above your head.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've seen pictures of that, yeah.
Yeah, so like, it's the whole like Olympics. We like the more dynamic lifts for...
How heavy?
Heaviest for clean and jerk was 95 kilos. Snatch was 75, I think.
Is this the same category or the same type of Olympic weightlifting as the recent Filipino winner? Weightlifting?
Oh, that chick, yeah.
It should be, right?
I think it is. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's that one.
But you still do that, or do you...
I do it from time to time because I've started boxing and both sports take a big toll on your wrists.
Oh, yes.
And so, because I've started boxing, I've stopped doing weightlifting a little bit more.
Yep.
Just because I want to like not completely shred my wrists.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. I highly recommend people get into them.
Yeah. And you sound like you're speaking from experience when you're like, yes, the wrist. So...
No, like I like boxing. I used to do gym, and I'd get very bored. I'd go there for maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes, do 2 machines, take photos of myself in the mirror.
That's the important
Did you
part.
even
Yeah.
go to the gym if you did not take a gym selfie?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who would know that I went to the gym?
Yeah.
Because, and then do like cross trainer for like 20 minutes. But then I got really bored. So then I took up boxing as well. Yeah. Which I really enjoyed. The gym I go to, they offer boxing, Muay Thai, and Jiujitsu.
Ooh.
But I tried
Jeez.
Muay Thai and I sucked at it. It was too hard. I got too tired, and there was, predominantly men, and so I had to work my way up there. So I'm doing boxing pre-lockdown. And yeah, that was really fun. They told us like combos and everything, and I felt really legit. When they just told us do this, and I could do it.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
It's a great stress reliever.
Yes, but it does hurt my wrist. It hurts my knuckles as well. Yeah.
Have you had any chance to spar with people yet, or is it mainly just the bag
No,
and
no.
the pads?
You partner up, so it is sparring people. So that's why I like the choreography of it. I like
yes.
it when you get a routine down pat.
Yeah, you got one person has to slide
Yeah.
or swing and that.
Yeah.
Yep. And is that similar to your class? Is that more following choreography type of way?
So I've started doing like 2 different types of classes. So one's the normal box fit. So it's like you're just on pads with someone. They're like kind of trying to catch your hands, and you're on the bag as well. Then I've started recently an advanced class, which is where they're starting to get you more into sparring. So they're kind of going slow, so like no face blows, just like shoulder taps and body taps.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's always a good start. Yeah.
it's great.
I hate cardio.
Oh,
So
same.
yeah, so that's why running and I can't do running. I get really bored and tired easily. So boxing, because I think you have to think at the same time. It's
Yes.
a little bit, a bit more fun.
Yes. I was told when I went to the gym that I had to stop doing cardio because my gym trainer's program for me was I need to put on mass.
right,
it
yeah.
was like you can do cardio, but very specific types of cardio and very limited. So I was quite different. I remember because I love cardio. I just love going to like running machines, biking machines, rowing machines. I was like, or just constantly those type of things. I think it's also good for my I used to have asthma, so it's like it's good for that as well. But and then weightlifting was never my thing because every single time I tried to lift weights, one of my old injuries starts flaring up again when I was a lot younger, I did fracture a bone here. So what happened is that every single time I do anything that involves bending, it's like, nope. So that's why the trainer's like, look, you got to do more straight arm stuff, like with the cables and pull. Like
This
that,
is where I
like that.
envy men. You guys are like, oh yeah, I have to put on more weight, and then us poor women are like, trying to lose it.
Well,
Don't worry, I can't relate to that either.
Oh gosh.
I am a very rare case, all right? Don't take me for example. But I'm pretty sure now that I'm married and when the kid comes soon, I'm pretty sure dad weight will just naturally.
Now that I have a toddler, it is a lot more difficult to get out of the house and do exercise. The kid is exercise enough. You're literally,
I would imagine so.
You're holding the kid. You're running after the kid. It's a lot. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Because they're in the walking phase now.
Yeah. Well,
isn't
he's
it?
in his running phase. I don't know who
boy.
taught him how to run, but he's almost 2. So yeah.
Yes, that's a lot. And starting to talk a few sentences here and
Yes.
there at that age. It's so cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I mean, I've never done official boxing training, but I have done other martial arts training before where I have done sparring before. And I still remember the very first day I went for my mixed martial arts sparring. I got knocked out and went home with a black eye, and I had to lie to my parents. I'm like, yes, I got hit in the face by a soccer ball. Because I was like, there's no way my parents would think or even allow me to try MMA. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, I learned from that. Protect the face at all times.
Yeah.
After that one, the best way to learn to protect your face. But I tried more martial arts that suited me. So I tried things that were kind of similar to like Wing Chun, which was like
Oh, that's sick. I want to do it.
which is like pretty much what Bruce Lee used to learn before he transferred to Jeet Kune Do, because it was a lot of transferring the opponent's force back onto them, which doesn't require me to have large muscle mass,
Yeah.
And apparently the origins of the martial arts was that it was, invented by a lady, and so therefore,
Oh, that's why it's so graceful.
yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why not a lot of muscle mass is needed. And there was actually a lot of wrist training exercises as well. Actually, a lot of it. So the way that they punch in Wing Chun is extremely different because I'm so used to like the boxing punching as well, right? You know, breathing out straight, but a lot of Wing Chun is all actually more the force from the wrist and the whole body pivoting into the person. So I don't know if you've seen footage of like a Bruce Lee doing like a 1-inch punch. It's technically not a punch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like someone's actually tried it on me before. Oh my god, I feel like I was gonna get pushed against the wall. It felt like every punch felt like a push, like someone pushing into you. So, you know, it's a very different type of martial arts. And I think one of the things I like about martial arts is that it's for all body types as well. And one of the greatest examples I actually do want to bring up, and it's not just because Reyes is here, but actually one of my favorite boxers.
Oh my god.
And you know where I am going with this,
he is
right?
the pride of our nation.
Exactly, right? Muscle mass, yes, it is there. He is toned, but he ain't exactly super tall because a lot of people think in boxing, what do you need?
Oh, he's tiny.
Yeah, they think that you need reach and that you need weight. Now, this person ain't got either. But the Pac-Man, I tell you, the Pac-Man is absolutely freaking amazing. And I think the most recent fight that listeners may have seen would have been with the Floyd Mayweather one, because that would have been the biggest one at the time. And I mean, it is quite unfortunate in my opinion, because that's all boxing strategies and tactics in play, more so than actual like brute force. Because you would have, did you watch that one? Because all my Filipino friends, even the ones who don't watch boxing, watched it.
My family were watching it, and we were annoyed that it was based on points.
And everyone was screaming at the TV, I'm guessing.
Yes, because obviously he had won, but, you know, well, points.
Exactly. It's like us non-boxing watching people, we feel like, hey, isn't it one person just running away? So how is he that?
He was.
How is he winning and how does he win? But it's all based on point system. So, you know, for those of you who do want to try boxing, remember, it's not all just about punching, unfortunately. There's way more to it as well. Yeah. So, I mean, growing up now, what I love seeing is that more and more people of the Asian ethnicities taking up sports.
Because I watched Shang-Chi over the weekend.
Did you?
I
Nice.
loved it, and I'm more inspired to try out all of the different martial arts forms. Yeah, because he does Wing Chun. He does, you know, I know he's learned in karate, taekwondo, everything. So it looked really cool.
Yeah.
What would martial art be if you were to pick one up, just like randomly?
Oh my gosh.
We'll go maybe in a circle.
Yeah. I think I just need to learn Wing Chun well. Like I haven't actually ever had a chance to officially go train in like an actual place. I've just learned from people who've learned from actual places and sparred with them and learned from that. But in the Melbourne CBD, actually one of Bruce Lee's classmates, if you can call it, they both learned under Master Ip Man. So William Cheung, his place is in the CBD in Chinatown, but very expensive because, of course, you got the name Ip Man and Bruce Lee attached to your name. So that's the very expensive one in the city. But, you know, I guess I just want to learn Wing Chun well and do it really well. Properly.
I like Wing Chun for the way it looks. I'm all about the aesthetic of how something looks. So the ones that look really cool and have that choreography to it. So I really like boxing for that reason. And Wing Chun. I would like to pick up, say, Taekwondo.
Yes. Taekwondo, very famous with the Koreans, of course. And I remember Bruce Lee did combine Wing Chun with Taekwondo with fencing. That's where the stance comes from to make his own martial arts. And so I'm pretty sure everyone who watches Korean dramas, if there's a hero that comes in and they like stop someone from assaulting a girl, or they like have to fight off a bunch of people, it's always going to be Taekwondo. It's always going to be kicks, spinning kicks, roundhouse kicks. And I did try a little bit of Taekwondo, just like I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can mix them two together, just like Bruce Lee did. But Taekwondo is a great option, very flary.
I have really strong legs, which is why I want to like pick that up.
Awesome.
I'm kind of like with you, but like with the strong leg thing.
Strong legs.
Like, so obviously I have like pretty big legs. So I wanted to cut, like,
obviously.
Well, like, it's like it's just there.
I know, like, I will admit that your legs, your calves have been renowned in our office. In the year 12 office.
You might want to. Okay, so this is mine.
We
this is
have
mine.
discussed Mr.
Look at his tree trunks.
So yeah, I was thinking maybe kickboxing would be like
Yeah.
a pretty good one
Ah, okay.
for my physique.
Yep.
Yeah.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
if I could, I think it was like Aikido.
Oh yeah, I've
Oh,
heard
Like
of
you're
wow.
like
that.
throwing people
Yep.
over.
yep.
That would be pretty fun, I reckon.
Yeah.
Aikido, judo, that type. Oof, yeah, throwing people. I can't imagine myself throwing people too much. But it's like for me, I only am good at what we call the striking side of things, which is always standing up, kicking or punching. But then there's the whole. I can see none of us have chosen the ground game stuff.
Is that like Jiu-Jitsu?
It's like Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, choreography-wise, doesn't look very nice, but
I
yeah.
took one class of Jiu-Jitsu. I didn't know what it was, so I thought I'd try it out. And then I tried explaining what I did to my office,
yeah.
and they all laughed at me, saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah," because I was saying there's a lot of grappling. It was
Yes.
it was very intimate
Yes.
with a stranger,
Yep.
and when they were instructing me what to do, sit on this person.
Yeah.
Kind of like a whole like twister.
bars,
Yeah.
triangle chokeholds, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the fundamentals of mixed martial arts. Like if you go into mixed martial arts octagon and you don't know any groundwork, you're screwed. You're pretty much screwed unless you're really good at striking that you never hit the ground. But that's very rare. But that's why it's really good for one-on-one, I guess. But some people do argue that it can be good in group situations if you know what to do as well. But yeah. But for me, I think other than Bruce Lee, I actually didn't watch Bruce Lee films until a lot later. I actually watched a lot of Jackie Chan films growing
Oh, I
up.
love Jackie Chan.
Right? And the best thing about Jackie Chan is that even now, I watch a lot of YouTube videos like breaking down why his films are so good. I just love like Rush Hour.
Rush Hour
One,
is
two,
the
three.
best.
Two especially.
Yeah, Rush Hour 2 is
I think it's the
classic.
highest grossing action film of all time,
I
or comedy
could
or something
quote
like
that.
that.
Yeah, I watched Chris Tucker, amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a good combo, that film, because they let Jackie do whatever he wanted to do. And instead of having like an American producer come along and say, hey, you need to do this, do that. But I just love the versatility. It's like, you see a fire hydrant or you see a chair. What does Jackie see? He doesn't see a fire hydrant and a chair. He sees this as a thing where you can slip under, trap someone inside, twist them around. Yeah. Did you see much Jackie Chan films growing up? Like any key ones that you remember?
Yeah, I loved, I remember, Jackie Chan and him using everything around him. So, Drunken Master, Rush Hour, Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. Even the tuxedo.
I was gonna say that was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, the tuxedo.
I think,
Besides from Rush Hour.
I mean, you did mention Drunken Master, but I think the age gap
Yeah,
is a little bit showing.
No, it was old.
Yeah.
My dad showed me Drunken
Because you guys,
Master.
yeah, exactly. Because you guys are all talking about the more American modern ones that he's done. But when I think of it, I'm like Police Story and like all those ones. Yeah, exactly. But man, I just love watching his films and the versatility he has with martial arts. Yeah. But speaking of martial arts now and films in general, we're hitting that point in our podcast now where we actually share maybe a particular movie or TV show that you want to bring up. Now, I can think of so many Jackie Chan ones, so if I had to choose one, it might take me ages. So maybe I might deviate from the Jackie Chan one, okay? But Mr. Young, do you have any shows you can think of yet?
I might recommend like two.
Okay.
Just to be like one.
I hope you don't steal mine because I've got one.
Okay, then you go first. You go first.
Netflix, Alice in Borderland.
Yeah.
Sick. I remember when I watched
It's better than Squid Game.
I know. I remember when I watched Squid Game and I was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. But then right after I watched Alice in Borderland, I'm like, this is better than Squid Game. Because it's all about strategy. It was more about the games and it's so good. And now they were supposed to be season 2, but because of COVID, they've delayed it.
Yep, because it is based on a manga, unlike Squid Game. So that's why you do know it goes for a while.
And it came out before Squid Game.
Yeah. And actually, Alice in Borderland, after the first season, there actually is a second season in terms of the manga, where there's like a second arc where the first one, I guess they made it out of Alice in like the Borderlands part, but then the second season is like them having to go back in. So that's
I
why.
haven't seen either of it, so I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch it. But of course, do check the age rating. Especially episode 2, I would have to say.
Oh, yeah. And
Yep, episode 2.
Yeah.
Check,
Okay.
Mr. Young?
Okay. So I have one that's on theme with what we've been talking about today.
Go on.
The other one is just what I've been watching recently.
Okay.
On theme, of course, it's Ip Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Yep.
I can't tell you how much I loved watching Ip Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But basically, if you ever want to see Wing Chun in action, Ip Man is probably one of the best films to watch it with in terms of like choreography and the history behind it. Like
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
talking about like the whole events of the war and
Yep. For the
how-
first one anyway.
yeah, first one especially. There is like I think there's 4 Ip Man
4.
movies.
Yeah.
And there's definitely no 5th for sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I personally only recommend the first 2. I haven't seen 3 or 4, but yeah.
3 was only worth watching because there's a fight between Donnie Yen and Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
So Mike Tyson has his like boxing coming in, and he has to fight Donnie Yen. And the 4th one apparently was pretty good, actually.
Oh, okay.
The 4th one, the final one, where he has to go to America and he trains like a Bruce Lee, which is completely false because Ip Man was way older when Bruce Lee was his student. Yeah. And actually, one of the actors in Ip Man 4, he's a singer by the name of Vanessa Wu.
Oh, that
Yeah.
rings a bell.
Yeah, he used to be in a boy band
F4?
called F4. Yep. Now, I actually know Vanessa Wu.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I can show you photos. I can show you photos.
No, I'd like an autograph as proof.
No, there's I've had dinner with him. So
Yeah.
the reason why was he actually flew to Melbourne to do a concert. And I think I might have shared, I don't know if I have shared
You
this
have
story
not
with the
shared-
podcast.
not with the
No.
podcast.
Okay, so he's a singer that's been around for quite a while.
Since
maybe?
I was in high school.
Yeah.
I know, like that's my high school
Yeah,
days.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's a singer from Taiwan. He used to be part of a boy band, and then they started breaking off to do their own things, acting. But he really still likes singing and dancing. So he came to Melbourne for a concert, but he's never done a Melbourne concert before. So he's, I guess you could call it like stage manager type of person. It's like, hey, we need a band to back him and play some of this stuff. So they got in contact with one of my best mates who just, sources musicians and stuff like that. And they just asked me, like, hey, are you free? And I'm like, why? It's like, do you want to play like guitar for like Vanessa Wu and his concert? And I'm like, the Vanessa Wu? And
No.
I swear, that's the only time I've ever been, I guess, have a feel of what it's like to be a celebrity, because I'm not saying that I'm a celebrity, don't worry, I'm not saying that, but because I got to follow him around, so after the concert, he kept me in his almost like entourage, he let me follow him around, we had dinner together, and it was just so weird, we're just eating our meal, he's chatting to us casually like any normal person, so down to earth, and then suddenly, oh, sorry, Mr. Wu, I'm hoping you can take a photograph of us, an autograph,
Yeah.
and you get to see him like, all right, go over, and just like signs, and he still keeps talking to us. So blah blah blah. Like, what
Yeah.
if you had to be stuck on an island? What's 3 albums you would bring along with you? And so it was like, I'm like, this guy has to literally like multitask and balance everything. I don't know how I could feel being constantly followed around.
Yeah, because
by people
F4
that.
was like Taiwan's BTS back
Yes,
in the day.
that's the best
back
way
in
to
the
put
day.
it. That's the best way to put it.
Even I knew about them.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were
And
like,
I'm
only
like,
linked.
this is him coming to Melbourne, and this is us finishing dinner at 10 p.m. and he's still getting swarmed by people. If he was back in Taiwan, I can imagine only how crazy it would be. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, second film.
How do we get to Vanessa Wu?
We'll talk about Vanessa Wu and Ip Man 4. That's
Yeah,
right.
Ip Man
Yeah,
4.
go on, yeah.
So second show.
Yes.
I started watching and finished Midnight Mass.
Okay. I wanted to start that because I love Haunting of Hill House. I loved Haunting of Blind Manor. So I haven't got onto that yet. I heard it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird because it's kind of following a the whole background is that you're following this main character. He's been sentenced to a prison charge for drink driving, and then he goes to an island after he's been let out of prison,
Okay.
and he's being forced to go to a church by his family because they're very religious. Slowly throughout the whole show, you start witnessing miracles, but something feels off.
Yeah, I saw the like that in the trailer, and it was like walk to like some disabled girl, and
Yeah,
she
and then
suddenly
she's
could
like,
walk.
yeah, but like, and it was like, oh, like really good, but then
Yeah.
like something was wrong.
Yeah.
And then, so like, that's all I'll really say. But you can, if you watch very carefully in that whole show, you can tell that they spent probably like 60% of their budget on one character, and then the rest on all of the supporting characters and the main character.
Why are they CGI'd
Wait, is
up or something?
Is it the wife?
Nope.
Okay, because like the wife of the director was the one in Haunting of Hill House, Blind Manor.
Ah, no. So you can see that if you watch it, you'll see like okay, your whole character design looks pretty good, but most of it went to this one.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
the clothing and so on. Would you say is that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
You'll see if you watch it.
All right.
Yeah, that came out at the same time as Squid Game, and I was like, Squid Game.
Well, I was like, Halloween.
Exactly, that's right. Okay, cool. My show. I just actually had it just in my head just for a moment ago, and now I've just mind blanked. No, I've mentioned Brooklyn Nine-Nine already.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
What show was I going to mention? I completely forgot now. If not, Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
That's
and I
tough.
haven't recommended it before. I think hopefully more seasons will be coming on Netflix soon.
Oh, but yeah, I was like, it's finished. But
It's finished, but it's not all
Yeah,
out
it's not
on
on
Netflix, right?
That's hilarious. I
Yeah.
love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And now I remember the actual film I was going to recommend, which is good because that gave me a bit of time. I walked into the Year 12 office today, and I had Mr. Porter, Mr. Chamberlain, and Mr. Donnelly, all of which are previous guests. You can watch their episodes. They were all talking about the latest James Bond movie.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had just watched it last night. Now, I already knew kind of the premise and the ending of what was going to happen, but I watched it anyway, and I still found it it was a really good film to watch. But the disclaimer is, you probably have to watch the other 4 James Bond films.
I've only seen Casino Royale.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. It's kind of like you watching Endgame without having watching Infinity War.
I love Endgame.
So it's kind of like you do need to kind of set yourself up to watch the 4 other James Bond films, being Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and then watch No Time to Die. But yeah, it's very different to all the old James Bond movies. A lot of old James Bond movies is very high tech, very gadgety stuff like that. But this James Bond iteration, which is Daniel Craig, and he's the last one. Well, this is his last one anyway. He's not the last James Bond. I mean, we don't know. We'll
Isn't
see.
the next one a woman? The next James Bond is going to be a woman.
I mean, that
would be
was
really cool.
That's in the
that was
news, yeah.
speculation.
Yeah.
That was a speculation. There is a little bit of a link to something like that, but I won't spoil it here. So when I turn off the cameras, I'll explain it a little bit, right? But yeah, that's definitely Daniel Craig's last one, and people have been like online recommending different people, like Idris Elba should be, or Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, that guy from Bridgerton.
Yes,
The
but
hot
that's
good guy.
And I think he actually would. Yes,
I
that's his
don't
name.
remember his name, but
Beautiful French
one.
name
That
guy with
beautiful
3
man.
names, right? Jean something, I
Oh,
remember.
he's so gorgeous.
But I agree. I actually think that he should be. I mean, I love Henry Cavill as well, but it's too expected.
he's already The Witcher. He
Yeah,
doesn't need
he's The
another
Witcher.
one.
He did a great job in
He's already
Mission
Superman,
Impossible.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's Superman. But I think all the James Bonds usually are actors who are just about to become famous, but they're not already famous yet.
Yeah.
Right? So Daniel Craig, if you look at his filmography, you'll say, okay, yep, he was like a side character in this movie, but he never was a main character.
I remember when I saw him in Lara Croft. I was like,
Yes.
he was in Lara Croft.
Cradle of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Bridgerton main character, yes, he technically was the main character, but he has actually been a main character in the film before, right? Whereas TV show is quite different, right? So that's why I do think that probably he would be the best actor to play. But yeah, I mean, James Bond movies, even if you don't watch No Time to Die because it's so sequential, just pull up any old random ones that aren't the Daniel Craig ones. Those can be watched standalone quite easily. And if you do want to sit and watch a 5-film marathon, then watch those James Bond ones. I heard number 2 is the least.
I heard
That's
this
one?
Quantum of Solace wasn't very good.
Yeah, but Casino Royale, which is the first one, is absolutely
And
amazing.
the love and like what's her face? Evergreen was so beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, I remember she's one of the main characters there, but all James Bond films usually have a different main female character anyway. But yeah, that is all from us in the podcast this week. Thank you so much, Mr. Reyes, for coming
Yay.
along. See, I told you there'll be things to talk about. See,
Oh
look
my
at the time
God.
already. Look at the time just fly when we're having fun.
Oh, we talk about the gym. I'm going to run out of things to say.
Oh no, don't worry. We talked a bit about everything. So if you do see Miss Reyes during Step Up or around the school when she's doing yard duty and other stuff, feel free to say hi. You can talk to her about any random thing. I guarantee you she'll have some sort of response to anything.
Yes.
Gaming.
Oh, gaming.
See?
Yes.
See that eyes?
That's what I've been doing during lockdown.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anything.
But
right?
not during class time, because during class is for WEC and we do English.
Exactly.
English work.
Surely no one would be misbehaving her class,
No.
right?
I'm mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mean teacher.
So thank you so much, Miss Reyes, the mean teacher.
Yes.
They'll remember you as that.
Yes.
And per usual, if you get any suggestions, see Mr. Young, see myself, right? And we'll catch you all next week. Bye, everyone.